welcome. My name is Jeff Cadence. I'm the Manager of Student Affairs at Trent University, and
I'm Kate Saint-Amand. I'm the Vice President of the Trent Fleming Nursing Students Association.
And today we are going to show you how to make a really inexpensive and nutritious meal. We're aiming for vegetarian chili. Our criteria were that it was going to be, as I said, inexpensive, easy to make, pretty tasty, and what else do we want to consider while we're
Healthy.
And healthy. Thank you from the nurse. Yeah, healthy. So the other criteria that I wanted to put in is that we can try to make it in one pot. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're using our stock pot here. So for our vegetarian chili, the first thing that we need to do is we need to prepare some beans. So I did that in advance of our show here so that we didn't have to watch beans soak. So we started with a 1 kilogram bag of beans, red kidney beans, and then you need to either soak or boil or some combination of the two. Ideally, you can soak it overnight and then give it about a half an hour boil in the morning once you're ready to cook. Or if you're like me and you're not that organized and well prepared, then you boil them for about an hour to an hour and a half before you're ready to cook. And 1 kilogram, which is a small little bag, turns into a big bowl of beans. So
Kate.
Our nurse here just reminded me that before we start preparing our food, we need to wash our hands. So this is what we're doing. Do you have any recommendations for hand washing?
When you're washing your hands, wash your hands for at least 15 seconds. Get between your fingers, get your fingernails, make sure that you get your thumbs really well too. Good to rub your knuckles and your palms. Get those hands really clean.
Yeah. Now, the cool thing about this chili is the veggies that you put in there can be, according to the recipe, which includes some celery, green peppers, onions, garlic, mushrooms, or the way I often do it is anything that's a little bit limp and going past its prime in your fridge. Also a good thing to chop up and throw into this recipe. So I'm going to start with 6 stalks of celery. We've got 2, do you want to start rinsing these guys? Cool. 2 green peppers, and then a good bowl full, which will amount to about 3 cups of chopped mushrooms. Not what we want to do. So again, with the onions, with the different veggies, we just want, decent sized chunks, and it doesn't have to be super accurate or even.
In the beans, obviously, very high fiber. Fiber is good for you because it keeps your body doing everything that it's supposed to do, keeps everything going. Also helps you flush out toxins as it does that. And in your vegetables, celery actually is a lot of water, but water is also really good for you. And let's see, mushrooms have the varietal in them. They have a very high B vitamin, which is really good for you. It's something that not a lot of people know about.
What is riboflavin?
It's one of your B vitamins. I don't remember what it's. Tomatoes, vitamins A and C, which are terrific for you. Vitamin C, of course, helps with your immune system. Vitamin A is good for your eyes. So there's all kinds of good stuff in this chili.
Alright. So when you're looking at fiber, I also heard fiber in terms of conversations around cholesterol. Does that have any impact on...
Actually, it does. It helps your body clear cholesterol because, I don't remember how this works. I believe that it helps the cholesterol move out of your bloodstream and into your intestines where then it can be eliminated from your body.
Is there a difference between the kinds of proteins you get from vegetable sources than what you would get from meat?
Yes, there is a difference. The big difference is that there are 22? And there are 28 amino acids that you need to have. And in an animal meat, you will always get all of those amino acids. So that's called complete protein. Okay. Whereas with your beans and your fibers, and your legumes, then you get incomplete proteins. But as long as you pair them with the right foods, then you can have your complete protein for the day. So if you eat a chili like this with rice, you'll be getting complete protein.
Really?
That's true.
Oh, amazing. Now, with any particular kind of rice? Like we're kind of a brown rice family here.
Well, I mean, brown rice and actually whole grain rice, like the long grain, is better for you than your average white rice. But you can eat the white rice too. Fermented rice will do it too.
Very cool. Natasha is 13. She's, in her adolescence, and vegetarian.
Okay.
So the concerns are, where are we making sure we're getting what we need? That she's getting what she needs, not just to live, but to grow and develop.
Yes. Okay.
So, any recommendations for us?
Well, again, to be making sure that you're getting your complete proteins, and also, things that I guess help you use those proteins. So there are studies out right now on vitamin D that say that vitamin D actually helps you to build more muscle fiber, and
it's kind of the flavor of the month this week.
It is
this time of year, right?
That's exactly. We're doing another presentation on vitamin D on Thursday too. So just to make sure that you're getting the protein, but also the things that actually help you use the protein in your body.
Hear that, Natasha?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so again, when it comes to garlic, some is good, more is better. Always. But it's also a little bit annoying to prepare, because especially when it's fresh, you let your garlic get a little bit old and then the skin comes off a bit easier. Spend a lot of time mincing your garlic, or you can spend it just, you can get fancy garlic presses and stuff to turn it into pulp. For me, I like to crush my garlic and then chop it up. So just with the flat of the knife, just give it a bit of a mash. And so you group it all together and give it a chop. And it's a quick way to a minced garlic. Doesn't matter if you've got some bigger chunks in this recipe, because it's all going to sort of turn into a big sort of chunky thing anyway. Got the garlic, I've got the onions ready. So what I'm going to do in our one pot is I'm going to start sautéing the onions and the mushrooms first. I start that up in the pot with just a bit of olive oil. He says until, yes, there's the olive oil. Do you have any preferences on the different types of oil that you would use to cook?
My understanding is that the extra virgin olive oil is the best one, and it's for similar reasons to the garlic. I believe it has a similar effect to aspirin in that it actually helps with your blood flow.
Okay. And what about, what kind of fat is an olive oil versus?
Okay, well, an olive oil would be a non-hydrogenated oil, which is something that you're looking for. If something is solid at room temperature, it's not as good for you. So try to get an oil rather than a butter in most cases. And I'm not clear on the differences between the different kinds of oil.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, I'm letting my pot heat up. Now, the reason that I'm sauteing the onions and the mushrooms first, the onions mainly, is because of the way it makes your house smell. I'm not going to lie. They're all going to get cooked. It's all going to get cooked at the same time, but this is just a cool sort of experience in the kitchen. But I still have to let that pan heat up a little bit. For students, stock pots, amazing. You can do all kinds of things. We're going to be ending up with a great big huge batch of chili and putting it in jars, and so you can have chili for lunch every day for a month if you want to. Not a lot of people are going to want to do that. But what you can do is every week you could make up a batch of something, right? So we'll do chili and we'll do different soups, and we'll do frijoles and just make up our beans for different things. And we store them in jars, and we can put them in the fridge or put them in the freezer, and then mix it up. So you can actually have some variety, despite the fact you're making things in bulk. The